What's going on, car family? I'm Ben Wayne. Thank you for joining me in another video. Today, we're going to be reviewing what is essentially the vehicular definition of excess. This is the 2021 Dodge Durango SRT Hellcat. What you're getting here is a 3-row, 7-passenger SUV with over 700 horsepower. Before we get into it, I want to give a special thanks to Kimberly Schultz of Stellantis North America for this awesome opportunity. I've been waiting for this one ever since this vehicle was announced, and I've been getting tons of messages and emails to take a look at this vehicle. So thank you for making this possible. Now, does a 700 horsepower SUV make any sense whatsoever? Absolutely not. But is this one of the most fun SUVs I've driven? I can say that without a doubt. This is truly an engaging and dramatic experience. I'm in love with this thing, and I've only had it for just a few days. The exterior color of this one is called White Knuckle Clear Coat Metallic, which is appropriately named. It features the black stripes with red outlines. The spec is gorgeous. Also features a nice red leather interior. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, Ben, the Dodge Durango has been out for quite some time. Yes, that's true. This is based off the 3rd generation, which was introduced back in 2011 and has now seen a refresh. But the people who care about this Hellcat Durango aren't really worried about styling. They are buying this vehicle for the performance figures and what's underneath the hood. So today, I want to talk to you about the details of this vehicle that matter, cover the exterior and the interior details, and see how this ride has been engineered for excellence. It is only right that I start off the review of this Durango Hellcat at the front end. There's a lot going on here. So I want to talk to you guys about the styling, the ventilation, and the power output. So starting with the hood, you'll notice you have dual heat extractors and then an air intake here. Everything is fully functional here. We'll get to that just a little bit later. Now underneath the hood sits a 6.2 liter supercharged V8. It has a 2.38 liter supercharger to be exact. That's putting out 710 horsepower, 645 pound-feet of torque. Now that's connected to an 8-speed automatic transmission. 0 to 60 occurs in just 3.5 seconds. This has a top speed of 180 miles per hour. Your quarter mile times are under 12 seconds. You know, your official quarter mile time is just 11.5 seconds in a 3-row SUV. That's insane. So this is one of the quickest SUVs out there. Now I know somebody's gonna come to me in the comment section telling us about the Tesla Model X, how it does 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds, Nobody cares about that. Nobody who's looking at the Hellcat Durango is worried about a Tesla Model X. This vehicle has soul, it has a heart. If you take this to a car show and rev it, people are gonna come around this just to witness it. What are you gonna do when you rev a Tesla Model X? Nobody's coming to see that. So the power plant and the heart of this vehicle, again, is that 6.2 liter supercharged V8. How are they getting so much raw power out of that power plant? Well, to get more raw power out of a power plant, you need to burn more fuel during that combustion cycle. And to burn more fuel, you're gonna need more air. That's where that 2.38 liter supercharger comes in. It's gonna force more air into that combustion chamber, allowing you to burn more fuel, allowing you to pull out more raw power, giving you that 710 horsepower output. That is just completely insane for this vehicle. Now, of course, all that power is gonna generate a lot of heat. So just like we talked about in our Charger Red Eye review, we're gonna have to talk a little bit about thermodynamics, which is essentially the science between the relations of heat and other forms of energy, whether it's chemical, mechanical, or electrical. So we know that heat essentially robs us of power. So we want to keep these vehicles as cool as possible during track days. So to do that, that's why you have the heat extractors. So how does heat essentially rob us of power? Well, when air molecules absorb heat, they expand. Now, hot air compared to cold air looks totally different. Cold air molecules are closer together, meaning that there's more oxygen per unit area of cold air as opposed to hot air, which is why these vehicles love cold air. That's gonna allow you to get all that raw power. So that's why you have the heat extractors, this air intake, this grille, all these functional vents in the front of the vehicle. Now coming back over to the aesthetics, again, you have the black stripes, makes it look mean and aggressive from the front. You have the LED daytime running lamps, you have the LED headlamps as well, and then below, you have a lower front splitter. But overall from the front, this Durango SRT Hellcat looks absolutely nasty. But if you're gonna come to me about the Tesla Model X, I'm gonna have to politely ask you to leave. Let's go ahead and check out the side profile. When it comes to the side profile of this Durango Hellcat, I love how sleek and subtle it is. I really love this white paintwork on it as well. But in terms of badging on the side, all you get is this simple Hellcat badge. And those who know, know. Now coming over to the wheels, this Durango features the 20-inch lights out wheels. They come shod in Pirelli P0 Scorpion all-season tires, 295 all around. Now up front, your brake rotors are 15.75 inches in diameter, grasped by 6-piston Brembo brake calipers. And in the rear, your brake rotors are 13.78 inches in diameter and grasped by 4-piston Brembo brake calipers. So these Brembo brakes really help keep all that power in check. Once you hit the brakes, you can truly get a sense of confidence when slowing down this 5,700-pound vehicle. Now back to the aesthetics. Of course, you're getting blacked out side view mirrors. I really like the contrast that provides with the white. Also goes nicely with the black stripes as well. And then your window surrounds are done in black as well. Let's go ahead and check out the rear of the vehicle. Now, when it comes to the back of the Durango Hellcat, the first thing that you're going to notice is that the stripes that you saw up front make their way all the way to the back of the vehicle. So I love how they're uninterrupted. You're also going to notice there's a larger spoiler here. So that's going to give you increased downforce at higher speeds, giving you more stability as well. Now, one thing I've always liked about the Durango is the light band in the back. Just helps pronounce the overall width of the vehicle. Looks awesome in low light conditions. Now, since this is an SUV, we'll go ahead and talk about storage. Always loved how this hatch beeps as it opens. Now, with the third row up, you're getting 17.2 cubic feet of storage. Drop the third row, you're gonna get 43.3 cubic feet of storage. Drop the second row, you're gonna get a total of 85.1 cubic feet of storage. Now I'll go ahead and drop the hatch by the remote. I always love how it beeps and gives you this little warning to clear it before it starts going down. Comes down nice and slowly. And then of course, again, the stripes hit you down here as well. And then you have a dual exhaust system. Let's go ahead and hear how this Hellcat sounds. Did you guys hear the sound coming out of that exhaust? Rhetorical question, I know the answer. This isn't a vehicle that just makes you say, that sounds nice. This is a vehicle that makes you say, man, what does that person have underneath the hood? As a matter of fact, I was doing a couple launch controls yesterday and I was coming back to do another pass, and there was this guy standing in the middle of the street and he flagged me down just because he heard the vehicle and wanted to know what kind of power was laying underneath that hood. That's the type of presence that this vehicle commands. Now, before we talk about the interior, I want to talk to you just a little bit about the driving dynamics. Now, there are different modes that you could have this vehicle in. Of course, it's all-wheel drive, so it's going to help you put all that power down. So in standard auto mode, it's going to have up to 40% of the power to the front and 60% of the torque to the rear. Now, you could take it into sport mode. That's going to drop it from 40 to 35% to the front and then 65% to the rear. Or you could go full out into track mode. That's going to give you 30% to the front and then a 70% rear torque bias. Now, of course, the Durango SRT Hellcat comes with stiffer springs and sway bars because with 710 horsepower, you're going to need it. Let's go ahead and check out the interior. The interior of the Durango Hellcat is pretty nice. This is the highest trim of the Durango. So I love the red leather, and then you also have black leather accents throughout. So starting at the top of the dash, you do have a soft touch material with contrast stitching going throughout. New for 2021 is this 10.1 inch display screen here. Vibrant, high resolution, and it's quite the upgrade from what was in the Durangos of the past. I will say the backup camera is a little bit disappointing in terms of quality, but again, people who are after vehicles like this don't really care about features like that. The backup camera is enough to get the job done, and that's really all that matters when you have 710 horsepower. The screen is really responsive, just as fast as a smartphone, so it's really nice. And it does have a page for all your race settings, so your SRT settings. So to show you that, I gotta start up the car, excuse the noise. Okay, so the car started. I'm gonna hit this SRT button here. That's gonna take me to the SRT menu. And as you can see, I have a huge array of settings here between track, sport, auto. It gives you tons of information. So let me hit back. So you have your performance pages, gives you your different timers, different gauges if you want that, coolant temp, oil pressure, transmission oil, your battery voltage, dyno page here. So as you can see, it spikes up really quickly. You have your G-force gauge here, vehicle dynamics, so it's tons of information available here in this SRT page. So let's go into race options. You have your launch control there. You can activate launch control through here and even activate the RPM level you want launch control to hit. You even have controls for your shift lights, so you can activate which RPM levels you want the lights to activate when you're getting ready to shift. So there's tons of information here and the SRT page setup. So let me go ahead and cut the car back off. All quite nice here. I really love the refresh for the 2021 model year. It's really nice. So coming lower in the vehicle here, you have all your controls for your air conditioning and radio settings, the seat controls as well. There's 3 levels of heating and cooling here. And then there's even a button for your heated steering wheel down here as well. If you don't want the screen on, you can even hit this screen off button here. Makes it go black in case you don't want to look at anything at all. Coming lower, you have 4 USB ports. 2 of them are Type-C, 2 of them are the standard. You even have wireless charging here. That's also new in the Durango. Man, I wish my 2014 Durango had all these features. Coming further back, you have this T-shifter here. Gives you a nice sporty feel to it. I really like that over the rotational knob that's found in the standard Durango. And then you have 2 cup holders as well. And then coming further back, additional storage in the center console as well. Now the steering wheel is nice and thick in your hands. Does have contrast stitching. Of course, it has SRT in the middle. And then 2 large paddles for downshifting and upshifting manually. Behind the steering wheel, you have the instrument cluster with analog gauges on either side. In the middle is a digital display screen as well. Now coming over to the door panels, they're covered in black leather with gloss black accents. You do have your door handle here. It's done in a chrome plastic finish. And then further down, you do have controls for all 4 windows. 1 touch up and down up front. They didn't give you 1 touch up and down in the back. I wish they did that. And then of course you have controls for your side view mirrors as well. 2 position seating memory, and then plenty of storage on the bottom of the doors as well. The seats overall, they are beautiful. They do feel comfortable. The seat ventilation in here is really on point. When you hit that seat ventilator button, it is ice cold air coming through these seats. It's actually quite refreshing in humid Georgia. But overall, the seats are nice. The leather does feel a little bit thin in the center portion of the seats. I would opt for the Alcantara seat centers or the suede seat centers. That feels nice, and that's going to keep you planted in the middle of the seat as well. The side bolstering is aggressive, and of course you have SRT badging on the seats as well, along with red seat belts also. Let's go ahead and check out the second row. Seating in the second row of the Durango is really quite comfortable. Honestly, you could sit back here for hours on end. I've done it before in my Durango. I've always enjoyed the bucket seats in the back here. They have nice armrests as well, and also feature the red leather and then the SRT badging. Now they also feature 2 levels of heating. So coming to the center console, you also have air conditioning vents, USB ports, buttons for your heated seats in the back here, and a power supply as well. Now in addition to the 2 air conditioning vents here, there's also air conditioning on the roof as well. So occupants who sit in the back aren't suffocating, while the occupants up front are nice and comfortable. I've always appreciated that about this vehicle. Now coming over to the door panels, they're covered in black leather with gloss black accents, more of that forged carbon fiber, and again storage on the bottom of the door as well. Now I will say seating in the third row is a little bit smaller. The floor raises up a little bit, so you don't have as much legroom as you do in the second and the first row, which is expected. But you could sit 2 adults back there, but there aren't any USB ports, so that's just something to look out for. Maybe in the next generation of the Durango, the occupants in the third row will get some USB ports. Let's go ahead and take this vehicle out on the street and talk about the performance and handling. All right, so we finally got the 2021 Durango Hellcat out on the street. This vehicle is truly a beast. Isha, what are your first impressions?
Well, when I saw it pull into the driveway, I said, oh no, what toy is here today?
Yeah.
I definitely saw the Hellcat symbol and just oh no.
Yes, this is Definitely a fun vehicle. You're looking at 710 horsepower in this one. It's truly an amazing machine, and it's quite versatile as well. What do you think about the exterior appearances?
It's very aggressive. I mean, it looks like the regular Dodge Durango, right? But with the color combination, it definitely gives a more racing type look to it.
Right.
You know, it says, "Uh-oh, what is this?"
Right,
Exactly
right.
what I did.
So, the interior is fairly nice. The seats are ventilated and heated. Isha, you had some comments about the leather, right?
Yeah, so immediately when I saw it, you know, it's the same leather combination from the Dodge
It was the
Charger
Charger, yeah.
Hellcat version. And I was not too, you know, I didn't really like it. I thought that they could do a little bit better with the leather quality. But overall, it is comfortable, and like you told me, anyone who's buying this car is not buying it for the leather.
Yeah, they're not buying it for the leather. You know, the leather could be better, but what you're paying for is the performance figures in this vehicle.
Right.
So this is all-wheel drive, which allows you to put the power down quite nicely, actually.
Uh-oh, here we go, guys.
I didn't even say hold on to your butt.
You didn't need to, because you're already starting to shift and all that stuff.
All right, hold on to your butts. That was an easy pull, right?
You know, I have a support system out there telling me, Isha, you know, it's all right, girl. You know, I do. Thank you to my fans.
So driving this in manual mode is quite fun. It wakes up the car just a little bit, so it just gives you overall an incredible experience for sure. So one thing I definitely want to try is the launch control system in here. So what we're gonna do is just come to a stop here, and then we're gonna hit this launch button down here, right? So it says apply brake pressure.
Just pray for me, everyone.
Make sure the wheel is straight. Are you ready? Hold on to your butts. Oh my gosh. What did you think about that? What did you think about that? Are you there?
I left my thoughts back there. They're trying to catch up to me.
This is an amazing vehicle. I mean, the performance you're getting. So this vehicle comes in at about $90,000, right? With all the options. I mean, there's not a lot of stuff out there that's going to get you 700 plus horsepower for 90 grand, right?
Right. I mean, it was great. It was great. It caught up to me. It was great.
I mean, the all-wheel drive just really hooks up. I don't know what else to say. I mean, this is one of my favorite vehicles, the Durango, because, you know, while it is practical, it still looks awesome, right? And you're getting all this performance in a package like this. I'm in love with this vehicle. I got to do it one more time.
Yeah, I figured it.
We won't go as hard, but all right. So we're just putting it in the launch mode. Apply the brake pressure. The acceleration in here is just, it's insane.
It doesn't give you you know, like that bad terrible whiplash. It does not. It's very smooth, I must admit.
Right.
The get up and go is smooth. I didn't feel like I was gonna spiral out of control or something.
Right. And the sounds.
What are you doing now?
The brakes, the performance on the brakes, they just bite down. It gives you a great sense of confidence in here. So this is like a 5,700 pound vehicle, and you can drive it confidently because of those Brembos you got on there.
I'm glad you can drive it confidently.
Oh man, we got people smiling at us because they hear the muscle. This is just insane. What an amazing machine.
So that's gonna wrap up this review. Ben, thanks for joining me on this one.
All right, one more, just one more.
Okay.
All right. Man, woo! This thing makes you feel so alive.
Woo! I'm alive.
It makes you feel so alive. Of course, this is one of the most fuel efficient vehicles out there on the market at 13 miles per gallon. 13 miles per gallon, but the person looking for this isn't really buying this for fuel economy. You want to have something fun to drive and you have a family as well, you can do that.
Yeah.
You sat in the back before in this vehicle, right?
Yeah, it's comfortable. I mean,
it's not bad.
The seats are good. It looks like the third row seating has been updated too.
Yeah.
It's not a bench seat. So
it's a bench style, but it's a little bit more comfy.
Yeah.
Right?
It definitely looks like it from the other version.
Yeah. So there was a refresh to this, which is why the interior looks a little bit different from what you're used to. You see the updated screens.
Yeah.
And of course, this is the crazy version. So you have all these gauges up here.
Yeah. I didn't even notice all of that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're going to do another pull and this thing's going to go crazy, right?
So look at all that. So you have your dyno and engine data there, and it just updates, real time.
All right. So it has a lot of tech in this vehicle.
Yeah.
Can you tell me anything about the cameras? Is there a head-up display?
So there's no head-up display. This is a platform that's been out for 10 years, right?
Okay.
So technically this is an old car, but an updated version of the old car.
Okay.
So like I said, when we were reviewing the Charger Red Eye, there are a lot of creature comforts and tech that the competitors have that these vehicles don't.
Okay.
But the buyers simply do not care because
it's the performance.
The performance.
Okay, gotcha.
There are not a lot of vehicles out there that allow you to take 7 passengers and get a 0 to 60 time of like 3.5 seconds.
Gotcha. That's true. That's fair.
So
what are we looking at as far as price range on something like this?
So base price is around $82,000. This one is around $89,000, $90,000 as options. But I just think.
So do you think that Dodge would be able to make something like this, but with all the tech?
I'm hoping that they do a 4th generation of the Durango, and then of course follow up with the Hellcat version. I'm sure that the demand is there for it. People love these vehicles. Mm-hmm. Like there's a cult following for Hellcats.
Yeah, I know.
And this is my favorite Hellcat of them all because the presence it gives you. Like the other day, you told me you could hear me coming to the house. Yeah. You said the car was.
In the neighborhood.
You said it was Hellcatting, so you heard it coming.
It was Hellcatting. I knew it. I said, "Oh, that's been."
So I'm gonna burn up all the gas in this vehicle before I have to give it back for sure. I mean, I just don't know what else to say. And the all-wheel drive, like when we were reviewing the Charger Red Eye, I said part of the problem with that is that if you don't know what you're doing, it breaks loose really easily because it's just rear-wheel drive. Yeah. This is all-wheel drive. It's going to help you put the power down, so it won't slip nearly as much as that Charger Red Eye we reviewed. So just makes it a little bit more fun, makes the powerful.
You're slowing down, but that
makes the power a little bit more usable.
Speed limit 30.
I don't see a speed limit sign.
You're slowing down, so I know what that means.
What an incredible machine. The ventilated seats in here are really good.
Yeah,
I have yours on.
Yeah, I like
They're really good. A lot of seat ventilation out there. You put it on and it doesn't feel good at all. But these are actually nice and cold. So I will say the seats in here are really comfortable and the ventilation works really well. But overall, those are my thoughts on this Hellcat Durango. I waited for them to come out with this car and I knew I would love it, and it's everything I thought it would be. It really is.
That's good. I mean, I like it. It is a fun vehicle, overall it's comfortable. I wish there was a sunroof to let some light in. I do know that they have this red
Yeah.
So it's not so dark. But I wish there was a sunroof in here. That would
Right.
help.
Right. I agree.
But overall, it's good. You know, good hold on to your butts vehicle.
For sure. For sure. And the ride is fairly smooth. You know that? Like,
it is.
Even in spite of everything going on here with the stiffened suspension.
So, make note that the road noise, it's not a lot of it, but it's enough for me to hear the growl.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, the engine.
On the inside.
Yeah, you can definitely hear that engine on the inside.
Right.
All right, so with that being said, we'll wrap it up here. Isha, I want to thank you for joining us during the driving portion and bearing with me during the launch controls and everything.
You're welcome.
All right. That was a brief overview of this 2021 Dodge Durango SRT Hellcat. And just in the short time that I've had this vehicle, I've completely fallen in love with it. I personally own a 2014 Dodge Durango, and I love that vehicle as is. Well, at least until I met this one. But I love my original Durango because it's versatile. It gives me space for 7 passengers. I can use it for groceries, and I use it to haul my RC plane, so it's a very practical vehicle. But once you add 700 horsepower to it, that takes it to another level. That makes this my favorite Hellcat out of all the Hellcats out there. Let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments section. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And until next time, I'm Ben Wayne, the automotive reviewer that YouTube deserves.